Time now for Seen and Unseen, where we expose the big cultural stories of the day. And for that, we turn to Fox News contributor Raymond Arroyo. Raymond, Joe Biden had a meeting with the president of Israel at the White House today. So how did that go?
Well, as expected, Ben. Now, look, I don't want to prejudice this, but when it's over, you tell me how you feel about those airstrikes in Syria over the weekend. Take a look.
I directed last night's airstrikes targeting sites used by the Iranian-backed militia groups responsible for recent attacks on U.S. personnel in Iraq. I also want to be clear that, as I said, my team and I are already working closely with the Israeli government that took office earlier this month.
Poor soul. Ben, it would have been better to have his defense secretary or someone else read this stuff. He's clearly having some difficulties. It actually makes you worry about who's running the show here. Then there's that gesture, and, you know, the media barely covered this event. There's this gesture we've seen before where Biden wrings his hands. Now, that's called perseveration, where people repeat when they're in decline, gestures or phrases. Now, look, I'm not here to diagnose him, but this is deeply troubling, and it's getting worse. Now, how do you feel about those Syrian airstrikes, Ben?
So you're telling me that in addition to probably being illegal by any measure, those also might have just been, you know, things that just got thrown around in certain areas. And I gotta tell you, that doesn't make me feel good. Whatever you would say about it.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, there's a part of it that's heartbreaking. But look, Kim Jong-un's weight loss got more coverage in the media than this did. And this is far more grave and important. But speaking of inappropriate gestures, Ben, American hammer thrower bronze medalist Gwen Berry staged her own protest against the flag and the national anthem on Saturday. When the flag was unfurled, she turned away at first. She put her hands on her hips. She rolled her eyes. Then she threw her activist athlete shirt over her head.
Afterward, Barry said, "I feel like it was a setup and they did it on purpose. I was pissed, to be honest." Raymond, how is it a setup to hear the national anthem after an Olympic event? I mean, has she not seen what they typically do?
Well, this is the whole point, Ben. I mean, you know, now the whole country's pissed and not just her. Look, when you make a contract, you make good on that contract. You follow through. This woman has made a contract. She wants to represent the United States in the Olympics. This is her shot. And when she gets there, she disparages and protests against the country. It's just not the right venue for this. Look, if professional athletes want to do this, that's one thing. This is entirely different, Ben. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Well, you're representing the flag, obviously. The White House defended Gwen Berry today.
Part of that pride in our country means recognizing there are moments where we are, as a country, haven't lived up to our highest ideals. And it means respecting the right of people granted to them in the Constitution to peacefully protest.
Well,
they're not here. Yeah, they're not here to protest. They're here to perform. You know, look, remember the Goodwill Games, Ben? They used to. Ted Turner had the Goodwill Games. We should have the protest games, and they can have the, you know, the 100-yard cop chase. They can have the long-distance Molotov toss. We could do those things there, but these Olympic trials, it's not the place for protest. I'm sorry.
Well, I just think that when it comes to performances like this, it's obviously meant to take away from the fact that she came in third and to actually make that appeal. Make that appeal. You know, you forget the fact that Colin Kaepernick ranked 34th out of 32 quarterbacks the year that he got benched. You know, it's just the sort of thing that goes away when you perform in this manner.
You got to get attention somehow. This is how they do it. Look, finally, Ben, the CEO and president of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Richard Davis, made an alarming statement about their post-pandemic wishes late last week, and it's really disturbing.
All Wish participants, including your Wish kid and any siblings, will need to be 2 weeks past completion of either a 1-dose or a 2-dose vaccine.
Now, Ben, the vaccine is only approved for children over 12 years old. These are terminally ill children who in some cases cannot take the COVID vaccine. To deny them their wish as they face eternity is not only cruel, it's frankly absurd, and it cuts against the entire reason for this Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Yeah, the foundation is now clarifying their stance, saying we respect everyone's freedom of choice. Make-A-Wish will continue to grant wishes for all eligible children. Make-A-Wish will not require anyone to get vaccinated to receive a wish. I'm glad that they've reconsidered, but whoever had this idea in the first place, needs to really, get their head checked.
But that statement is a bit deceiving, Ben, because when you read deeper, you realize, yeah, they're saying everyone will be considered to receive a wish. However, if you're not vaccinated, there will be no flights. There will be no large gatherings for you. That is cruel. Since most of these kids want to go to Disney World, that's off the table for them. They can only do a local wish fulfillment. I'm sorry. These babies, these families are traumatized. They know what risk is every day of their lives. You let them embrace it, and you let these kids and these families enjoy their time together. That's why this place exists. And I hope Make-A-Wish, who's done great work in the past, reconsiders this. It's a stupid policy.
Absolutely, and I agree with you, Raymond. Thank you so much for coming on.